right. Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kahakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you, brothers that's laboring, edifying, rightly divine word and truth and sincerity. And shalom to you believers out there, the Akim wa Akwati. So, what I want to get into is, the dragons of Arabia, mainly the second Esdras, the 15th chapter, starting at verse 29, going to about maybe like verse 33 or something like that. Because what's happening right now is biblical prophecy most definitely is speaking very, very loud. And when you see certain moves going on in the planet Earth, all right, the Lord blessed us, okay, brothers, to go into the scriptures and filter them out, all right, because the Bible is what? Faithful and true. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. All right, this is second Esdras 15, starting at 1. It says, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of this prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And we know the testimony of Yahweh Shai is basically prophet, it's the spirit of prophecy. And when you go into prophecy, that's basically what? Telling things that's going to happen before times. All right, before it happened. All right, what do it say in what's that? 32 and 39. I might have it wrong. Let me see. It might be another one. Yeah, I knew it. That's let me see something. Bear with me 1 second. Yep. When you go to Isaiah 46 and 9, it says, Remember the former things of old. I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning. So when you declare the end from the beginning, you're prophesying, all right? And from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure, all right? Which will take us back here, where it says, which will take us back to second Esdras 15 and 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the no, Slaki. That's it right there. I could keep going, but this is what I want in verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. These words are what? Faithful and true. All right. So now let's go here.
Welcome to the news hour. In a surprise move, Saudi Arabia and Iran have announced that they're resuming diplomatic ties. In a coup for China, the deal was struck in Beijing after 4 days of secret talks. It follows 7 years of hostility between the Saudi Arabian kingdom as it broke off official relations with Tehran. Both countries have pledged to reopen their embassies within the next 2 months. Iran's top security official said the deal aims to consolidate Tehran's ties with nations across the Islamic world.
We have been here in Beijing for 6 days. I held talks with my Saudi counterpart that led to the agreement to normalize relations. We agreed with Saudi Arabia to open a new page based on the interests of the two countries and on regional security, and to promote stability instead of exacerbating tensions. We hope this will contribute to the establishment of security and development in the region and balance the behavior of foreign powers and their distance from our region, to which they came without permission. We look forward to this agreement contributing to the consolidation of our relations not only with Saudi Arabia, but also with the countries of the region and the Islamic world. The enemy, especially the Zionist entity, feels frustrated and despaired by this agreement.
Our diplomatic editor.
Frustrated and despaired. All right. The enemy, mainly talking about the West. All right. Talking about these so-called Jews. All right. You know, but again, you see it. Iran and Saudi Arabia. All right. What does this historic agreement mean? Well, when you go to 2nd Ezra 15, starting at verse 28, all right, it says, Behold, an horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia. All right. See? Excuse me. The dragons of Arabia. And we know the Saudi, that goes into the name of the family, but really that's Arabia. All right. So the dragons of Arabia is basically talking about over there in Arabia. All right. Saudi Arabia, and shall come out with many chariots. All right. And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. All right. And the multitude of them is basically going into the militaries coming together, all right, to fight in this final war in World War III. All right. This is partially what when they say what do this historic agreement mean, all right, ultimately these two nations, these two countries are going to back each other, not just financially with certain things. And they said China brokered the deal. See? So China in the mix, and Russia in the mix. All right. To come against who? But the America, Babylon the Great, man. Which America gonna be destroyed. Okay. That's biblical prophecy. The white man, whether he is in America, Russia, wherever his power is about to be done. Okay, that's biblical prophecy. And China and Saudi Arabia and the you Koreans and you Arab, y'all ain't got necks. All of y'all gonna be done. But kind of sticking to the point, it says, I was going into, their militaries coming together. That's what this historic uh meeting mean. It's not just about finances. Is when it's time to go to war, they gonna back each other. All right. Verse 30. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. Okay. And with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. Now, I read the whole verse, but when you go into the Carmanians, that's going into the Persians, which ultimately are going into the Iranians. Okay. That's going into Iran. All right. So let's go back. Now, matter of fact, let's do this. Matter of fact, let me do this real quick. Bear with me 1 second. Just bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second. All right. Now, here, one thing about it, I'm going to show the book. Show the book real fast. Let me see if I can go to. All right, I got this book. This book right here is the new. Let me see if it's showing right. Okay, this book right here is the New Westminster Dictionary of the Bible. All right, this is the book. But what I did was I took a picture, okay, out of this book going into Persia. All right. Now, when you reading, all right, it says Persia proper, the seat of the Persians. when they first became known to the Western nations as a settled people. All right. It says Lay, SC of Elam. Okay, these are Elamites, and nearly corresponded to the modern province of Fars in Iran. See, this is in the Westminster book. Okay, this is in the Westminster Dictionary of the Bible. Okay, see, the modern province of Fars in Iran. In Iran, a modification of the original Old Persian. See, named Persia. Persia, in the limited sense, was bounded on the north by Great Media Magna, on the southwest by the Persian Gulf, on the east by Carmania. See, Carmania. All right. Now called Kerman, on the northwest by Susina. All right. Now what I did was I looked up. Wait, bear with me 1 second. All right, I looked up Carmania. All right, let's get into it. It's just for edification. It says Carmania. All right, Carmana, Middle Persia. See, Carmania, Persia. That's getting into these Iranians. Is the historical region that approximately corresponds to modern day Irania. See, look at the flag. Okay, this is biblical prophecy, man. All right, Iran and the dragon of Arabians, and these are the Carmanians. Iran is the Carmanians, and Saudi Arabia is the dragon of Arabia. Dragons of Arabia, man. Okay, province of Kerman, and was the province of the Achaemenid, Seleucid, Arsacid, and Susanna Empire. The region bordered Persia in the west, Jedrosa in the southeast, Parthia in the north, later known as Abashar, an area to the northeast. Carmania was considered part of Irania. And when I looked up Kerman, what is that? It's in Iran. All right. The Westminster told us that. Okay. These are the Iranians. Okay. And then when you go here and you look up the switch from Persia to Iran happened in 1935. See, that's old, but it's kind of recent. Okay. So in 1935, Persia changed their name to Iran. Okay. This is biblical prophecy. Now going back, since we know who the Carmanians is now, verse 30, also the Carmanians, the Iranians, raging in wrath shall go forth as wild boars of the wood with great power shall they come and join battle with them. With who? The Saudi Arabians. See? And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. When you go into the modern day Assyrians, that's going into America. That's not talking about old Assyria. Okay, ancient Assyria. That's talking about modern day America, which is known as Assyria. Okay, buzzword when you hear Assyria, when you hear spiritual Edom, Sodom, okay, things of that. Babylon the Great. All right, verse 31. And the dragons, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand. Okay, who is the dragons? Arabia. Remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspire together in great power to prosecute them. All right, and when you get into when you get into uh verse 31, when it's talking about remembering their nature, it's talking about who? The let me see something. It's talking about those Arabians, which are Ishmaelites. Okay. Matter of fact, I'll just go to the quick math. When you go to Genesis, Slacky. All right, when you go to Genesis 16, starting at verse, I will start at 11. It says, and the angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, thou art with child. All right, this is Hagar. Hagar, Abraham and Hagar, okay, made the Ishmaelites. All right, her son was named Ishmael, Hagar. All right. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. Okay, verse 12. And he will be as a wild man. That's his nature, to be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Right. And right now, Saudi Arabia, the Moravians became a great nation, man. Okay. The Lord told Abraham, I believe, that Ishmael will be a great nation. Okay, they'll be good. Now they ain't the chosen, but if you see them over there, they're a great nation. They took over a lot all over there. They took a lot over a lot of parts of Africa. Okay. And he dwelled in the presence with his brother. Islam is real deep over there. Even them Iranians, a lot of them deal in Islam. Okay. But his nature is a wild man. Now, I was watching Apostle Ramla. He went into wild man. Let me see. It say a wild ass. Because when you go to second Esdras, it says where the nation, no, Slakia. Verse 31, then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. Their nature is what? Being wild. Wild men, wild ass. And then he went into the onager, which is a wild ass, is a type of wild ass, an onager. Onager. It says an animal of a race of the Asian wild ass native to northern Iran. That's funny. All right. But this is the onager. All right. So let's go back. Now let's go back to second Esdras. All right. So verse 31 again, then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remember their nature. And if they turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Okay. And again, they're gonna come together, okay, against the United States. All right. Then these shall be troubled, bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. Verse 33, from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and in their hosts shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. And see, you got a lot of these Ishmaelites over here. They done let a lot of these Saudi Arabians over here. I mean, when you deal with Islam, period, you got a lot of Islam. You got a lot of the people that worship Islam over here, and a lot of them ride together. Okay, you heard Saudi Arabia and Iran, they went into Islam because for them it's about the religion. It's about Islam. So you can have, people over here. They can be from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iraq, you know, and them Arabian, them Arabs over there from Iraq, they in Islam. All right. But you do have a lot of Arabians over here. Okay. verse 34, it says, "Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm." Right, and that's going into these different wars. All right, the clouds from the east, the west, the north, unto the south. That's going into these different wars. All right. And they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. Right. That's going into like these fighter jets. You got America with these at what they call F-16s. All right, all these fighter jets and planes and things of that nature. Okay. Verse 35, it say they shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly. Right. And that's going into these missiles. All right. The stars is going into the missiles. Okay. This is going to be war. Okay. When you go to Revelation, Revelation 6 and 12, say the sixth seal, terror. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, right? Because of the military destruct the those missiles. And the stars of heaven fell upon the earth unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Right. That's the missiles. Okay. That's what it's going into. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Again, going into those missiles. You ever seen like those clips where they drop a bomb and then you see the mushroom cloud? That's what this is going into. Those missiles. Because like the apostle was going into, not only do they have just the ICBM, they have other type of missiles that do damage, but not as much damage. But they still missiles though. All right. You see what I'm saying? This is what it's going into. Let me see something real quick. Revelation 8 and 10. What did it say? And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven. See, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of the water. Right. And that star is going into the missiles. Okay. This is ultimately the end game. All right. Right now you have what? Historic agreements, you have secret meetings, you have meetings. Ultimately, they talking about finances and all type of things, but the war drums is beating. All right. They're going to be backing each other militarily. All right. Along with China and Russia. Okay. That's why, what was that? Ezekiel 38, how Russia is going, they're going to have a great camp with them. They're going to have many nations with them. All right. China going to be there. You're going to have Saudi Arabia. You're going to have Iran. You're going to have African nations. Okay. This is what it's going into, man. See, burning as it were a lamp. And it fell upon the third part of the rivers. And that's going into Esau, Edom. Whenever you see the third part of something in the scriptures, like the third part of men is going into the Edomites, the son of the wicked. You had the sons of God, the sons of man, and then you have the sons of the wicked. The sons of God is the Israelites. The sons of man is the other nations. And the sons of the wicked is these Edomites. All right, so-called white people. Okay, that's what that's going into. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. That's all, I just wanted to get off into this. All right. Again, Lord willing, it was edifying for you brothers and sisters. This is biblical prophecy right here, man. We got to stay on our watch. And, the Lord is doing what he said he was going to do, man. These words is what? When you go back up in the chapter, what do it say? Verse 2. It says, and cause them to be written in the paper, for they are faithful and true, man. And they are faithful and true. All right. So again, Lord willing, this was edifying. To the next lesson. Shalom.